It's usually the weeks that are short weeks, always the longest weeks because you got something to, because you thinking about it being a short week.
Huddle up. We got one play. Everything we work for.
And I work from home today, so it'll be an easy day. It'll be easy. Good morning, Juicy.
Bro, we're in the middle of the state championship. Oh, so like
Good
a B
morning.
plus.
Do you sleep well, beautiful?
Well, at homes.com, we leave it all on the
Yep, I'm
field
taking that flight. Taking that flight. Let me tell you something. It's only a 6-hour drive, but it's only a 45-minute plane ride. So, and I got a good deal. I think I got a round trip ticket for $80 to Atlanta. I couldn't go wrong. That's the reason why I waited to the last fucking minute, honestly.
Simply and easily.
Because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to go. I didn't want to drive. I really didn't want to take. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to go. I didn't want to drive. I really didn't want to take that drive, even though I could have taken the drive. Usually I drive to Atlanta, but I really didn't want to drive to Atlanta. But when I seen the ticket for $80 round trip, I said, "Fuck that! Let me jump on this fucking flight." And get to Atlanta.
Absolutely does
$80 can't go wrong.
Get a quote or find an agent today at thehartford.com.
So I gotta pack. I haven't packed yet. Yeah, I mean, I'm used to driving because when I lived in Georgia, I used to drive to New York maybe about 4 times a year because I had the kids. So of course it's cheaper to drive with the kids than take a flight. So I used to drive to New York all the time. I'm gonna see what's on. I'm gonna see a whole bunch of people on Forza. I'm gonna see Donna. It's I guess you want to say like a TikTok event going on in Atlanta next weekend. Donna, did you know that Not Your Size 6 is having a meet and greet too next weekend? I haven't really fucked in a room in a long time, but I've been inviting people to breakfast on Sunday. So I've been, asking, inviting people to come out to breakfast, and people are telling me, oh, this not Your Size 6 is having a meet and greet. I said she is. So supposedly that's supposed to be going on in Atlanta this weekend too. I don't know if you've been in her room lately. It's so on and on and on. Doing well. Well, you ain't. Good morning, Lisa. You're not missing stuff. You in Tennessee? You could drive down. Well, how far are you? I don't know, cause it depends what type part. I don't think you in the Chattanooga side. No, you are in the Chattanooga side, aren't you? That's only about what 3 hour ride, maybe 3 hour car ride. Your song will fly. Okay. There's supposed to be an event in January in Memphis. Good. Hey, Gen X. Oh, thank you. I try to be. I try to have good vibes. It never usually works out. Nashville. Oh, okay. Yeah, you on the other side. Definitely. Nashville. I definitely want to check out Nashville one time. I only been to like Chattanooga. I think Chattanooga's probably the only Chattanooga and what is where Dollyville is over there. I've been up that way. It's only been on like the east side of Tennessee. You got touch in Memphis? Everybody says that about Memphis. Why is that? Anything you want from me, anything you want, anything you need, anything you so desire. Hey, Mr. Ron. Dollywood, yeah, what's that? Oh, Gatlinburg, that's what it is. Pigeon Forge, yeah. So I've been to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. That's probably as far as I went. Hey, good morning. But I never traveled to the west side of Tennessee. Let me tell you something. When I first moved to Georgia, I didn't even know Georgia was near Tennessee. I had no idea that Tennessee was near Georgia. Oh, okay, that's not bad. I like Gatlinburg. I really do. I like the being in the mountains. I love being in the mountains. What I loved about being in Georgia, because I was on the north side of Georgia. So I was near the mountains. I was about 45 minutes from Chattanooga. Does it really? I didn't know that. I just want to hear about the music. I want the music. Memphis has good music, right? Listen, I don't be knowing a lot about. Listen, I know a little bit of things. I know a little bit of a lot of things, but I don't know a lot of things. But that's what I love about learning. I love learning, and I like to explore and go different places. Mm, baby, mm, mm, baby, baby. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, really? I'm gonna go where all the tourists are at. Go where the tourists are at. They say that. You know what? They say that about every state, though, Juicy. I think they say that about every state. There's places in New York that you can't go to. There's places in Atlanta you can't go to. There's places in Florida you can't go to. And so I can't understand that. I want to go where the music is at. Because I like to dance. But one day I'll get to see you, Juicy, and you're going to put me in that nice car of yours, and we're going to go, vroom, vroom, vroom. I know your engine must sound loud and powerful. Morning, Julio. Together with me, boy. I really like what you done to me. I can't really explain it. I'm so into. Good morning, Charles. Charles, you was on my brain all day yesterday, all night, all this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Because you triggered me yesterday. Your story triggered me yesterday. I hate that for you. I hate that for you, Charles. I really hate that for you. It's hard. It gotta be hard. I know it's hard, honestly. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. And I know it's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm gonna tell you my story. You stay there in the comments. I'm gonna tell you my story. And why it triggered me yesterday. Thank you, babe. Thank you, Stage. The Stage, Star 4G. I don't know why people always got these weird names I can't read. Star 4G, Star 4G, Star 4G. Um, oh, I joke and I laugh. I joke and I laugh a lot, right? And I make everything a lot. I'm trying not to cry. I make things light. I lighthearted. I try to make things lighthearted all the time. And if you know, right? Oh, that's cute. Okay, I get that. I get that. I'm all about kids. I'm all about kids. I love kids. I love children. And I think it was because of the way that I was brought up. Um, I think being a parent is the most amazing thing in the world. And I hate it when people are not good parents. They're not good parents. So, uh, That's not she. She's not. He was talking about some another conversation I have for him today, not the music. So it's a long story, but I'll tell you a little bit about the long story. Um, so I was married, right? Thank you, Donna. And my ex-husband has a son. When I got married, my oldest was 12. My oldest was 12. His son was 10, and my youngest was 2. Good morning, Orlando. And um anyway, he when I first met him, when I didn't first met him, I went to high school with him. Well, actually, I went to junior high school with him. But when me and him got together to be in a relationship with each other, he had custody, not custody, but his son lived with him and his mother together. So the mother wasn't around. So my stepson's mother wasn't around. And he was in the same household with my stepson. And when we got married, he moved to Georgia and left my stepson in New York with his mother, his grandmother. And that always bothered me, right? Because I had 2 children already with two different men, and I know how important it is for a man to be in the household with his son or with his children. And so we always used to fight. Well, not we used to fight, but I used to fight to get my stepson to come down to Georgia with us, and it did work. It worked for a while, and we had a house built for him and everything. And um, but once my stepson's mother knew that the child support was going to stop, she took us to court and she demanded her son back, and we brought the son back to New York. And as soon as my stepson went to New York, she took my stepson and brought him back to my ex-husband's house, so his mother could raise him again. So long story. It's a long story, but anyway, my stepson was pretty much raised on his own with his grandmother, and being a step parent, there's not that much you could do about it, right? And my stepson had a lot of issues. Has a lot of issues. And so I try the best to be a great stepmother, get him down here, make him part of the family. My boys, those are his brothers. No matter what, those are his brothers. We always raise them to be their brothers. And but I never respected my ex-husband because I felt like he should have fought for my stepson, like hard, like fought for him. And and he didn't want me bothered. He didn't want distress. He didn't want aggravation, whatever. And my stepson had uh he had a lot of seizures, and I never understood it because me as a mom, right? And my son has, and every time I used to ask about it, they used to be like, no, nobody really knew the answer to this, why he had the seizures. That wasn't acceptable to me because to me it was like, how your kid be having seizures and nobody knows what's wrong with your kid? How do you not know what's wrong with your kid? How you not know? And anyway, he also had a lot of emotional problems too because again he was brought up by himself. And because yeah, even though he was in the house with a grandmother, the grandmother raising you is not the same as your parents raising you. And anyway, there's a lot of stories in between that. But last March, my stepson passed away. He was only 25. And that type of forgiveness is hard because I feel like both of his parents could have done better. So yeah, yesterday when you were talking about forgiveness and what your children went through, I completely understood what you was talking about. Thank you.
There are tacos, and then there's Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. So what makes a Zaxby's chicken finger taco a Zaxby's chicken finger taco? Well, they took their famous chicken fingers and sauced them up in a soft tortilla shell. And because this is Zaxby's, you can get them in 3 flavors you'll love, like Chipotle Ranch, Avocado Bacon, or their all-new Buffalo Blue. Taco night hits different at Zaxby's. Zaxby's chicken finger tacos. Get some today. Who's got the sauce?
Yeah, juicy aspirin. It's a lot of shit.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a
so,
big fan of Spectrum.
in that, right?
Family of 4, we have about 18
My
devices last
son,
time
my
I
oldest
counted.
son,
Two teams require
my
a lot
oldest
of
son,
speed.
we see
Everything
him on the
they do
lives
is
every
online.
once in a while. Now,
There's
mind you, I want you to know
gaming,
my
there's
stepson used to be on my lives
Spectrum
back in the
is
days too,
perfect for us.
because
I mean,
my
it just
stepson,
seamlessly connects all our devices
again, he
with
had a lot of
lightning speed.
problems. He was always
Sounds
in and
like
out of
Spectrum
trouble,
is really committed to keeping you connected.
and he
It's
lived
amazing.
in Arizona with my son for shit almost over a year. And so, I used to go live back in the days, and my son used to be in my panel, and my stepson used to be in the panels too, and everybody used to joke around and laugh around and stuff like that. And my oldest son, so the one, when I was just my oldest son, he still talks to my ex-husband. I don't know why. Fucking bothers the fuck out of me. I really don't know why, because their relationship was never good either. As having my son was 12 when I got married, and he grew up with his father telling him, "You're the man of the house. You need to take care of your mother. Your mother's crazy. You know your mother's crazy. You need to take care of your mother. You're the man of the house. You're the man of the house." So when I got married, of course, my son thought he was the man of the house, and then I got a husband that thinks he is the man of the house, and so there was a constant battle between them all the time. Plus, he was a teenager at the time, so they constantly fought with each other, physically too, and I was in the middle of them physically fighting all the fucking time. And so my oldest son, same one that used to fight his stepfather, it gives him forgiveness and forgives him. I'm like, why you forgive him for? Did you know what your stepfather used to do to us? Did you see what your stepfather did to your stepbrother? So yeah, yesterday when you was talking about forgiveness and you wouldn't piss on your ex-wife for the shit that she did to your kids. I completely understand everything that you were saying yesterday. I don't know, not at all. So that's something we both gotta work on, Charles. It's not just you. And I wanted to tell you that. I wanted to tell you that story in that though, because I could recognize it, right? I remember I was talking, I could recognize the healing that needs to be done in me. And it goes back to foundation. What does your foundation look like? Because I believe if you have a strong foundation, if you build a house, you have to have a good foundation. You can't build a house on sand. Can't build a house on shallowness. It has to be deep rooted. And I feel like we should have all deep roots. Some way, one way or another. However you describe it. We should all have some type of foundation. If we go back down to the foundation, we could come up with that forgiveness. And I was listening to a live that you was on, Charles, but I did not know this about you, honestly. I did not notice this about you. And you were talking about how you was a Mormon. And I don't know that much about Mormons. I really don't know that much about Mormons. I know about a lot of religions. I know a lot about a lot of religions. I don't know a lot about Mormons, and I don't know what their foundation looks like. I grew up. I was raised. I don't know. I was raised Catholic, but Catholic people don't read the Bible. They don't read the Bible. You just do a lot of standing up and sitting down and standing up and sitting down. My mother just made sure we went to church on special occasions, and we went to and make my mother made sure that I did my sacraments. I did my confirmation so that I could get married in the church. That's all that it was about. I didn't know nothing really about anything about. I know how to say my Our Father. I know how to practice those normal religious behaviors. It's called forgiveness, honey. It's called forgiveness. Mm. So, anyway, and then when I turned 18 years old, I don't know if I ever told you this or not. I don't know if or you heard it or whatever. I know I mentioned probably slightly. Um, a long story. I'm not telling a long story about that. But I ended up studying the Bible when I was about 21 years old. I ended up I had really bad postpartum depression, and maybe when I was 20, I had really bad postpartum depression. Plus, my ex-boyfriend had passed away, and I was going through a whole bunch of shit at that time. And I had a young lady that I worked with. She opened up the Bible with me. She actually she studied it with me, and I really learned about Christianity. So I really learned about that. And then, but also in between time of that too, my mother, you know, the all of our original religion was our North African religion, and so I grew up with in spirituality, uh, learning about spirit guides, ancestors, just original language, original religion before we came to America and they changed it to Christianity, which is the Orisha religion. So I grew up with that as well. So I grew up with a lot of religion. Needless to say, I grew up with a lot of religion. Not even that, even on top of that, in high school, junior high school, where I lived, was a lot of Muslims. And so I grew up with a lot of Muslims. I grew up with a lot of 5%ers. So my ex-husband was a 5%er. So God's in the earth. And so I grew up with a lot. I know a lot about religion. Again, foundation, right? Like I said, I didn't know a lot about, I know that your foundation is Mormons, and I didn't know what your foundation was. And I know that I think religion, the practice of church, I think stops us from us practicing, believing it, understanding it. I don't know, but I think the foundation should still be there. I think the foundation should still be there, and I think honestly, and I think that's what Mama Money yesterday was kind of talking about yesterday about forgiveness, because I don't know. Again, I don't know about Mormons, but I know that in all the religions that I know, it all comes down to love, whether it's love of self, love of the earth, love of other people, forgiveness. So I'm working on that. And I don't know if you heard anything that I've said or anything that I said hits home to you, or even if it was a little bit, or anybody else is listening to me just ramble on. Nope, that's not true, Charles. This is not a debate, Charles. It's not a debate. It's definitely not a debate. I'm not debating. I'm not debating. Oh, your original foundation is Roman Catholic. Yeah, I mean, and exactly. Roman Catholic, I mean, did you actually read the Bible? It's a whole bunch of rituals. It's a bunch of rituals. Stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. That's all you. But even in the Catholic religion, I think there is some type of foundation in there, right? I mean, love God, love somebody, love somebody. There's some higher being that you have to answer to at the end of the day, is, I guess. Anyway, thank you for the anxiety yesterday. Appreciate that, Charles. Thank you for the anxiety yesterday, because that's what I had yesterday. And one day I will have forgiveness in my heart for him for that. And for his mother, because don't get me wrong, his mother got it too. Let me tell you, I really didn't want to go to I did not want to go to the funeral, and not for nothing, I did act up in the funeral. I cursed out his father and I cursed out his mother. Told them that they were horrible fucking parents in that funeral. Did act up. I shouldn't have went. I didn't want to go. I actually was sitting in the car for a very fucking long time. I sent my boys. I told them to go in there, and I sat in the car for a long time outside of the church. And my brother came over to me. He said, "You need to go inside." I'm like, "I don't go inside." And I know as soon as I went inside, I knew I was gonna act up, and I did. And then of course, and then in that, I was trying to get some help. Hey, good morning, London. But my forgiveness is not my kid's forgiveness, right? A long story. I was talking about my stuff. I don't know if you knew that, London. Stepson that passed away last year. See, that's a trigger. I swear that's a trigger for me. And every time I talk about him, I start crying. And I never realized it until yesterday, Charles. It's your fucking fault. I'm not blaming you. Thank you, London. Donna, you know how we are. Donna, you know how we are. We strong. We strong. We strong. Like Charles said, Charles, we strong, independent women. The storm, and I don't need no shelter. Side note, you do know I got my period, right? You do know I got my period, so I'm extra emotional. Let's do that side note. When you go through menopause after the period thing is over, do we still go through these emotions? Do we still have? I have to ask somebody who already went through menopause. He is. I mean, again, I don't mourn I don't mourn the dead. I really don't. I think because to me, because I have a strong foundation, I know that I mourn the living. I hurt for the living. I hurt for the living. I mourn people who have life and don't appreciate it. I mourn those people. My spirit guides, my ancestors are always going to be around me. All the people that passed away around me, and that's part of uh, the religion that I grew up in, that foundation, dealing with uh, spirituality, dealing with that. I don't mourn the people past. I mourn the people who are alive, who don't appreciate life, and rather just live in misery and anger and hurt people than actually just love on people. That hurts me more. Hurts me more because now, mind you, this was my ex-husband's only son, his only biological child, and he lost his only biological child, and I couldn't imagine losing my child, any of them, any of them. I don't know. I would unalive myself. I wouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. God forgive me. God forgive me. So, I couldn't even be there for him because I was so mad at him. I was so mad at him. I'm still mad at him because of it. But anyway, I wanted to tell you that, Charles. I wanted to share that with you, Charles, yesterday because you were sharing your story yesterday, and I understood what you were talking about. I understood what you were feeling.
Nectars and coconut water to quench your thirst, even your favorite snacks like chips and cookies. With Goya, you can find everything you need to help prepare delicious
He didn't have a good
recipes you'll
relationship
enjoy
with
all
his
summer
father.
long.
He
Visit
did. He
Goya.com for
blamed his
recipe
father
ideas
for
to
a lot
feed
of
the heat
things, which
and
is I
more.
think a lot
And
of
remember, if it's
young
Goya,
boys
it has
do,
to be
young
good.
men do, right? My father wasn't around. He was supposed to be around, and he never around. Then he got married to me, and then it's just like, oh, and then he raised my kids. I mean, I'm pretty sure that had a big part about it too. You know, I wouldn't say raised them. My ex-husband didn't raise my kids. He was around. He was a body in the house. Oh, my youngest one he did. My youngest one I could say he did. Because my youngest was only 2 years old. So you are a teenage boy and you see your dad waking up and going to bed with somebody else's child for 15 years. He had a lot of hostility, of course. Good morning, DC, for his father for that. And actually, honestly, shit. It was one of the reasons it was the reason why I mean that when I don't know if I was already well I always say, and I do say this, my ex-husband left me for my next door neighbor. That's what happened, right? And I don't give a fuck about that, and I didn't give a fuck about that because I was already over him anyway. I was like waiting for him to leave me. I couldn't wait. I used to pray every night, can you please leave? Like, I want you to leave, please just leave. I just want you to go away. I mean, he cheated with me with the next door neighbor for 8 years, and I knew about it, and I didn't give a shit. I didn't give a shit. I was like, let that bitch do it. I don't give a fuck. Let him leave. The only reason why he left, and I kind of slightly touched that as well, was because he didn't have a choice. Honestly, he was not allowed to come back to the house, and the reason why he wasn't allowed to come back into the house is because he got into a physical altercation with his own son, his blood son, and he almost tried to unalive his own son, his own blood son, his own baby, his own child, and that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, this gotta stop. Because if you're gonna try to unalive your own child, you can unalive me and my babies at any moment. My kids weren't babies at the time. I think my youngest was 15 at the time. My youngest was 15 at the time, and yeah. So can you? I don't. So yeah, my ex-husband got all this shit that he's on his own fucking head. He got this shit on his head, right? The last time you talked to your blood son, you were trying to unalive him, and then next thing you know, your son is unalived. I don't know how he lives with himself every fucking day, but I don't know how he lives with himself every fucking day. And I think that's the reason why. Good morning, Tawanda. And I think that's the reason why my oldest son has such a forgiving heart with him. I don't. I don't. To me, it's like, oh well, that's what you get, motherfucker. But I mean, it's not nice to say. It's not nice to say at all. It's not nice to say at all. Mr. One, you had a great time. You look like you had a great time. You look like you're so in love. I love that you're so in love. Oh, I love that you are so in love, Mr. One. You deserve it. You really fucking deserve it. Let me tell you something. I'm really being not telling a lot, but there's a lot there. There's a lot there, and I'm very lighthearted. I'm very lighthearted. I'm lighthearted in my conversations. I try not to think about it at all, Charles. I try not to think about it at all. That's the problem. I don't think that's a good thing either, right? Obviously, it's not, because if somebody mentions something that's similar, and next you know you fucking trigger it like that. But I believe we got to be honest. We have to start being honest with each other. And that's all. I think that's the only way we could be Yeah. Baby, like Bossman actually did a post. I saw it earlier. And probably one of the most wisest thing I ever heard him probably one of the most wisest thing I ever heard him say or posted was saying that uh something about healing is you're not healed if you don't talk about it. And I think a lot of times we don't talk about this our shit. Yeah. And again, and I understand because again, you still got your children are still at home with you. They're still young. You know, like my kids are grown. My kids are grown. So even though like my oldest son is damn near he'll be 29 this year, I can't make decisions for him, right? If he chooses to forgive his stepfather, he chooses to forgive his stepfather. I can't do it. It burns me, it kills me. Oh, like why you forgive him? I mean, there was even a time that my son, one of those, mommy, but I feel bad for him type of shit. And I sat there and sent my son pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures of all um, scars. I'm gonna say scars that I had. And I'm like, you don't remember this? You don't remember this? You don't remember this? You don't remember this? You don't remember your stepfather doing this? You don't remember your stepfather doing that? That wasn't good to do either, right? I wasn't good at just. If he's 29 years old, he's a grown ass man. He can make his own decisions. And I shouldn't have done that. I can't make him not like his stepfather. Yeah, and I understand that. But I don't think that's good either. Because I do that with my youngest son. I do that with my youngest son. My youngest son, again, he was raised with my ex-husband in the house. So my youngest son was 2 years old. And he really did raise my youngest son up until he was 15 years old. And my youngest son doesn't even talk to my um ex-husband at all. He doesn't even mention him. He don't even mention him. He don't talk about him. He don't even think about him. He don't give a fuck about him. And that's not good either. I don't think that's good either. I don't think that's good either. He needs to have forgiveness in his heart too. Let me see a picture. So that goes back to my foundation question. What is your so in your foundation, Charles? Though I mean, I know you don't. I know you have this thing about religion. So I know that you're not alone. So I want you to know that you're not alone, Charles. I understand you. Hell no. Tonight. Because I do understand the religion part about it, right? Because when I was going through all this, now mind you, I just want you to know, we were church people. We was in church, shit, 6 days a week. We was in church every fucking day. We was in church Sundays, we were in church. For Mondays, we were there for midweeks. We were there for Bible talk. We was there for devotionals. We were there for, we was in church, okay? Almost every fucking day. We was in church a lot. A lot. Not as a married, when we were married. When we might as well were married. We was always in church. So I understand your religion, your disdain for that as well, because here I am, I'm going to church every day, and yet I'm going through all this other shit in life, real life, right? I'm going real life. I'm going through all this other real life shit. And meanwhile, on the outside, everybody thought we were doing great because, we were going to church every fucking day. And I would reach out to the pastors, and I reach out to the church members, and I reach out to everybody for help, and nobody was able to help me. And even when my stepson had passed away last year, I reached out again, church members, people who go to church, and seeking for advice or seeking for help or helping me to help me. Help me. How can I go to this funeral and how can I go to this funeral and be like Jesus? Be like Jesus. When all I want to do is fight. And they didn't help me at all either. All these fucking Bible thumpers, they didn't help me at all. They didn't. Shit, I couldn't even get phone calls back. I couldn't even get motherfuckers to call me back. So I can understand how you don't want to talk about religion. Not talk about religion. I know that you have this thing about the organized religion. Organized religion, organized church, organized that. I can understand what your disdain is because we all fall short. We all have fucking issues. Nobody's higher than the other. But there's still a foundation there. There's still a foundation there, though. Even though the organization of it all, the way that it's practiced, however it's practiced, the rituals of it all, you know, that, yes, is very hypocritical, right? But there's still a foundation in there somewhere. There's still a bottom, a root, a seed. There's a seed in you somewhere, Charles. And that's what I want. I need you to. I know you got it in you. We all got it in us. I'm going through like a box of fucking tissues. I just want you to know. You see how much I'm blowing my fucking nose? Oh, I'm so glad this period is here. So that by the time I go to Atlanta, I am not like this. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to dance my ass off. Okay, good. All right, so being spiritual, right? Gotta have some type of forgiveness in it, then. We working on this together, just like me and Donna go through menopause or perimenopause, whatever the fuck that shit's called. Me and you, Charles, we're gonna go through forgiveness for our exes together, okay?
You're gonna be okay. Just grab my hand.
This is the power of the human spirit. Advent Health ER, Northwest Georgia's largest.
And I can forgive all the shit, all the bullshit that he put me through, as far as everything that man put me through. I can forgive because I'm not innocent either, right? I'm not innocent. I'm not innocent in anything that I do. I get that. It's mostly the forgiveness of how he treated his son. That's the biggest part of it all. Trying to forgive him for how he treated his son.
Committed financial partner on your side.
Not even.
Expert business bank
And his stupid ass fucking mother.
Empower you on your financial journey. We're Ameris Bank, and we're fiercely yours. Visit your local
But
branch
since we have a foundation, right? We have to remember that God is love. God forgives everybody.